hello, my loves, and welcome to this third installment, I believe, of the exploration of Codex Emperor's Children for Warhammer 40,000's 10th edition. The very first, in fact, Codex Emperor's Children. We're going to be taking a look at the last three detachments in the book today. And maybe, I don't know, I may do another video on things like the model range and just overall impressions and whatnot, because this is, as you may have noticed from the previous videos, this is my jam. The Emperor's Children I just freaking love. And to have like a complete dedicated model range and codex and army list and all the new background and stuff is just the best. I'm very, very happy. I'm riding high at the moment on the hobby. I'm really doing loads of stuff, actually, on the back of it. Got a whole new Emperor's Children army coming on. Got a squad of completely converted infractors, a Chaos Lord that's converted from the Veterans of the Long War Chaos Lord box set. I've got Terminators. I've just started putting together some Flawless Blades, which are cobbled together from the Champions of Slaanesh, the Veterans of the Long War, from Fiends of Slaanesh, and all sorts of weird and wonderful sources. I'm very excited. And considering that only yesterday we also had the re-released World Eaters and Death Guard, I thought I'd better get on top of this because I'm going to be doing them as well. I mean, the Death Guard are my second army. I've got a big Death Guard collection over there. I love the Death Guard, and apparently there's a lot of changes for them. I'm very interested in exploring them. Anywho, before that, we've got the last three detachments in the book to look at. So we've got the Carnival of Excess. Now, this is one that I think is going to see lots of play. Not only is it very competitive, but it's just fun. This is the old school sort of Demonkin style army, where you can mingle Emperor's Children and Slaanesh demons, and not only can you include them together in the same army, but they buff one another. They have benefits for one another. They have synergy. Yes, this is the way it always should have been. This is the way it always should have been. But this is the first time it's actually happened this way. And apparently this pattern is the same in the other cult codices. So the World Eaters they've actually got a detachment called Khorne Demonkin, which is a lovely reference back to the old codex from 7th Ed, the Khorne Demonkin. And the Death Guard, they have a thing, I think it's called the Taliban or something like that, which is Death Guard and Nurgle Demons commingled together. But the Carnival of Excess, I love the fluff for this. Wherever the Emperor's Children tread, wherever they indulge their every obsessive desire, wherever they gut, flay, and slaughter, you've got to love like grimdark Warhammer 40,000 prose, don't you? It's so over the top. Reality is torn asunder, and through the veil pour the demons of Slaanesh. Demonettes leap forward, their lithe forms at once repulsive and alluring. Clouds of sickly soul musk drift through the ranks of the foe, dulling their senses whilst the scissorations of the advancing demons lull the weak-willed into trances. Seekers of Slaanesh crash into their helpless victims, talon, claw, and poisoned tongue ripping flesh asunder. Alongside their demonic allies, the Emperor's Children keep pace, letting out ecstatic laughter and booming battle cries as they unleash malefic sorceries and slaughter at will. Return fire finds only corrupted air as demon and tainted warriors alike advance like a murderous pageant through the enemy fire with contemptuous ease. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. Like everything in this book, actually. Like everything in this book. So their detachment rule is demonic empowerment. And what this does, I mean, the Emperor's Children, given their army rule, which we've discussed before, the Thrill Seekers, they are a finesse army. They're a thinking person's army, a bit like the Thousand Sons in that regard. You've really got to think about how things line up in the army, how things support one another. They're not like how the Death Guard are now, which the Death Guard are just brutal. They're a phenomenally elite army now. These guys, you can't commit piecemeal, and this, the Carnival of Excess, exemplifies that. So the way it works, while an Emperor's Children unit from your army is within 6 inches of one or more friendly legions of excess, that's the demons, units, it is empowered. While a Legions of Excess unit from your army is within 6 inches of one or more friendly Emperor's Children units, it is empowered. So the whole thing is you want to keep them together. You want them to be acting in concert. Now, what does it mean? While a unit from your army is empowered, weapons equipped by models in that unit have the Sustained Hits 1 ability. If such a weapon already has that ability, each time an attack is made with that weapon, an unmodified hit roll of a 5+ scores a critical hit. Really strong. Potentially very, very, very powerful. So you're going to want your demons and your Emperor's Children acting in concert together. When you build your army, you're going to want to be thinking, so what is the best unit for supporting this unit? Well, if I take a unit of infiltrating tormentors, what do I want beside them in order to support them? Something like Seekers or Demonettes would be good. Something that can keep up with them and which makes up for their weaknesses. Also, bear in mind, all weapons equipped by models in that unit have Sustained Hits 1. So that's the long range weapons and the close combat weapons. It's very good. It's very strong. And if they already have Sustained Hits 1, they gain critical hits on a score of 5+. This is a good one for Fulgrim to be in, by the way, because Fulgrim has Sustained Hits on almost all of his weapons. So this is one where he will be doing the business, you know? Yeah, it's very interesting. Also, Legions of Excess, you can include basically sort of half of your points you can commit to Legions of Excess units. So it's half and half mortal, half demon, effectively. Incursion, it's up to 500. Strike Force, it's up to 1,000. Onslaught, it's up to 1,500. Legions of Excess can't be your warlord, so you can't take like a Keeper of Secrets as your warlord, but you can include them, and they have loads of synergies, and also a lot of the stratagems apply to them as well. It's really very cool. Also, the thought of having an army where you have both Fulgrim and a Keeper of Secrets, or Fulgrim and Shalaxi Hellbane, really nasty. I mean, really bloody nasty. Shalaxi in particular is a killer. Committing Fulgrim and Shalaxi together so they get the sustained hit, the 5+ criticals, and they're also just killer models in and of themselves, really strong. Really very strong. And Shalaxi or a Keeper of Secrets can keep up with Fulgrim as well, by and large. So that's pretty goddamn good. It's very strong, but it does require consideration about how you put your force together and how you deploy. Because you're going to want to keep your units within 6 inches of a demon unit at any one time. So you're going to want enough demon units to manifest that. Also, demons are quite fragile. There are some stratagems that allow you to return them to the board, but they are quite fragile. And a canny opponent is going to be gunning for them. They're going to be wanting to take down the demon, so you lose your sustained one, effectively. But yeah, by and large, it's a very good army rule. It is designed for a kind of alpha strike. You know, you want to cause as much devastation in the early turns with it as you possibly can. That's what it's all about. That's kind of what the Emperor's Children are about, really. That's how they work best, and this detachment emphasizes that. In terms of enhancements, we have Empiric Suffusion. Swirling clouds of perfumed empiric energy suffuse this leader's followers, granting them demonic vigor. Emperor's Children model only. Once per battle round, you can target one friendly Slaanesh unit within 6 inches of the bearer with the heroic intervention stratagem for 0 CP. So this applies to either mortals or demons, and it just means you can set up some rather nasty traps if you're quite clever with it, or you can use it defensively to bring in another unit in order to defend something that's more fragile. It's pretty good. You're probably going to want that, if I'm perfectly honest. That's going to be like a very good utility. Dark Blessings. This warrior has earned the favor of the Dark Prince. It's short and sweet, wasn't it? Emperor's Children infantry model only, so this is a mortal one only. Once per battle, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets, the bearer can use this enhancement. If it does, until the end of the phase, the bearer has a 3+ invulnerable save. So that's just for one turn. That's just for one battle round. But if you are afraid that maybe your warlord or a key character is going to get shot off the board or something, um, then basically this is a way of saving them. This is a way of making them more durable for that round. It's situational, but you're probably going to use it at some point. It's pretty good. It is pretty good. Possessed Blade. The martial grace that this demon weapon bestows upon its bearer comes at a price. Emperor's Children model only. At the start of the battle, select one melee weapon equipped by the bearer. Add one to the attacks characteristic of that weapon. In addition, each time the bearer is selected to fight, it can use this enhancement. If it does, while resolving those attacks, add one to the damage characteristic of that weapon, and the weapon has devastating wounds and hazardous. So this is made to go on a Demon Prince, really. Giving a Demon Prince +1 damage and devastating wounds, given all the other stuff that a Demon Prince does, that's really good. The hazardous is not too bad, actually, on something like a Demon Prince, and it is very worth it. It is very worth it. The fact that it's optional as well, so you don't have to use it all the time. It's one of those, it's direct, it's a weapon, it's damage. It's pretty good. It's pretty goddamn good. Put it on a Demon Prince, make that Demon Prince your warlord of the Carnival of Excess, and you're well away. Warp Walker. The champion of Slaanesh is so steeped in the warp as to be able to traverse its maddening depths at will. Emperor's Children or Keeper of Secrets model only. Each time the bearer's unit advances, do not make an advance roll. Instead, until the end of the phase, add 6 inches to the move characteristic of models in that unit. Already bloody good. That ties in very nicely with the overall army special rule. If you do put it on an Emperor's Children model rather than a Keeper of Secrets. However, we also have, when doing so, it can move within engagement range. Hang on. Each time a model in the bearer's unit makes a normal advance or fallback move, it can move through enemy models. When doing so, it can move within engagement range of such models, but cannot end that move within engagement range of them. And any desperate escape test is automatically passed. So it's really good, especially on something like a Keeper of Secrets, which moves so fast. This allows you to position it however you want, effectively. And the enemy can't block you by putting units in its way. You can get to what you need to get to very quickly. It's also very good on one of the Emperor's Children Lord Exultants with a unit of Infractors or Tormentors. Because the whole unit can move like this. It means you can really do some damage. You can get very deep into the enemy lines very quickly. Maybe even like first turn. If you're doing it with Infractors and they infiltrate. That's bloody good, actually. That's an auto take. That and the Possessed Blade are effectively auto takes. You're going to be taking them in this detachment. Right, stratagems sustained by agony. This is a battle tactics stratagem. Slaaneshi demons feed upon the emotions of others, with agony a particular delicacy. This is in the fight phase just after an Emperor's Children unit from your army destroys an enemy unit, and the target is that Emperor's Children unit. Effect, select one friendly Legions of Excess, so demon unit within 6 inches of your unit. One model in that Legions of Excess unit recovers up to 3 lost wounds, or, if it is a Demonette's unit, return up to die 3 plus 3 destroyed models. So that's really good. That means that your more fragile Demonettes have a little bit more sustainability. You can return models to the unit if they've been destroyed. It's not bad. It's not bad. And also, I mean, if it's a bigger monster, if it's like a Keeper of Secrets or something, then they restore lost wounds. So yeah, it's good. It's a really lovely synergy. Ecstatic Slaughter. This is a strategic ploy stratagem. As the violence intensifies, so does the ecstasy of battle, empower demon and mortal alike. This is in the fight phase just after a Legions of Excess unit from your army destroys an enemy unit. And the target is that Legions of Excess unit and one friendly Emperor's Children unit within 6 inches. Oh, that is not within engagement range of one or more enemy units. The effect, your Emperor's Children unit can declare a charge. If it does so and has already been selected to fight this phase, it cannot fight again this phase. It's only for one command point. That's really good. That can be a very nasty surprise for the enemy because it means you can It means you can effectively bog down another unit in combat, or if the Emperor's Children unit hasn't fought yet, you can get off this very nasty surprise where they do a charge, an automatic charge. It's good. It's a nasty trick, that one. It's the kind of thing, it's situational, but you pull it out of the bag and your enemy's going to be really annoyed, basically. It's a disruption stratagem, and it's quite nasty. I like it. I like it a lot. Violent Crescendo. This is a strategic ploy stratagem. It's expensive, 2 command points. In the final act of the battle, the followers of Slaanesh descend to slaughter the remaining foes. This is in the any fight phase. Interesting. 1 Slaanesh beasts, Slaanesh infantry, or Slaanesh mounted unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. Okay. Effect. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes a pile-in or consolidation move, it can move up to 6 inches instead of up to 3. When doing so, it does not need to end that move closer to the closest enemy model, provided it ends that move as close as possible to the closest enemy unit. Again, it's kind of naughty. I mean, I can see why it's 2 command points, because that can be very powerful. That can be very powerful if played at the right time. It can mean the difference between an enemy falling back out of combat. It can mean the difference between an enemy surviving or not. That one. It's very good. Yeah, it's very good. And the fact that it applies in either fight phase, yeah, that's good. It's really good. Expensive and situational. You're going to want to think about how that one works, but it is, if you can set it up, it's really nasty. Sycophantic Surge, I like that. Battle Tactic Stratagem, 1 command point. The demons of Slaanesh care naught for mortals, but strive to earn the approval of their Dark Prince. This is in your charge phase, so the Emperor's Children charge phase. 1 Legions of Excess unit from your army is the target, and the effect, until the end of the phase, your unit is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced or fell back, provided at least one of the targets of that charge is within engagement range of 1 or more Emperor's Children. So it gives the demons something akin to the Thrill Seekers special rule, because the demons don't have that. That belongs to the Emperor's Children themselves. Yeah, again, it can be very, very, very good. It's like a lot of the stratagems in this. It's all about setup. It's all about sort of tricking your enemy. The like naughty little trick that you can deploy depending on how you set up and how you move across the battlefield. This is such a finesse detachment, like a lot in the Emperor's Children army. I just love it. I love the way they play. You have to think very hard about it, but when you get them off, if you'll forgive, I know it's the Emperor's Children, I know it's Slaanesh, I shouldn't have used that phraseology, but when it works, it really works. Uncanny Reactions, Battle Tactic Stratagem, 1 command point. Those who have earned the favour of their Dark Prince may be granted a sliver of his grace. This occurs in your opponent's shooting phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets, and the target is 1 Slaanesh unit from your army that was selected as the target of 1 or more of the attacking unit attacked. The effect, until the end of the phase, each time an attack targets your unit, subtract 1 from the hit roll. It's a nice, basic defensive stratagem, and it's very, that's always very good. That's going to be standard. You're going to be using that throughout, to be honest, because it's just a standard kind of stratagem, and it's going to be particularly good for your weaker demon units. So yeah, very good. Dark Apparitions. Strategic ploy stratagem, another expensive one, 2 command points. The demons of Slaanesh are not bound by the laws of reality, fading in and out of existence at will. This occurs at the end of your opponent's fight phase. Target is 1 Demonette's unit, so very specific from your army, that is not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units. The effect, remove your unit from the battlefield and place it into strategic reserves. If it arrives back on the battlefield in the reinforcement step of your next movement phase using the Deep Strike ability, it can be set up anywhere that is more than 6 inches horizontally away from all enemy units instead of more than 9 inches, provided it also set up wholly within 9 inches of 1 or more friendly Emperor's Children units. So it has multiple uses, this one. You can save a Demonette's unit from being destroyed if you think that's going to happen, but you can also use it to just bring a nasty supporting unit down in order to support like an Emperor's Children charge or fire phase, or like in another part of the battlefield. Being able to set up 6 inches rather than 9 inches away is also very good. Yeah, it's strong, potentially very strong. Any sort of uppy downy stratagem is potentially very strong. I like that a lot. Overall, I can see this one being very useful, the Carnival of Excess. You need to think about it. It is quite finessed, it's quite intricate the way it works, and it requires a lot of forethought, but I can see tournament players and competitive players liking this one a lot, and indeed players like me who play for the fluff, for the background, because it's old school. This is how Emperor's Children used to be way back when, before they separated demons from the Chaos Space Marines. So it's lovely to see it back, and it's lovely to see this situation where they're not just included together, but they empower one another. I love that. I'm this. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it is. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, this one. This is again. This one you're going to see a lot on the competitive scene. Coterie of the Conceited. Gotta love the names of these Slaanesh detachments. You really do. This is powerful. It doesn't start powerful, and again, there's a lot of hoops to jump through. There's a lot of finessing, but when it gets going and when it goes off, it is nasty. It's really nasty. The Emperor's Children possess a desire for perfection and superiority that drives them to inflict ever greater and more impressive death upon their foes. To satisfy their urges, some Emperor's Children warlords strike desperate pacts with demonic powers. By doing so, they wager their souls and those of their warriors, and in turn promise to outdo their rivals in the volume and luridity of carnage they inflict. In return, they may be granted power beyond measure and the ability to experience limitless sensation. Sounds good. Those who have sworn such pacts urge their warriors forward and hurl themselves into battle with desperation and exhilaration. Each torture inflicted and each gory kill brings them one step closer to fulfilling their part of the bargain. Failure, however, can lead only to a violent death, or, far worse, the ire of their patron and the tortuous obliteration of their very soul. So this one is a bit of a gamble. The detachment rule is very interesting. It's kind of like the Torn Demonkin in certain ways. Pledges to the Dark Prince. You appear as favoured by the Dark Prince as these warriors. Their boons of power are reward for committing ever viler deeds in honour of their patron. At the start of the battle round, if your warlord is on the battlefield, that's important. That's the hoop that you need to jump through. You must pledge a number, Slaanesh, representing how many enemy units will be destroyed this battle round. At the end of the battle round, if the number of enemy units destroyed this battle round is greater than or equal to your pledge, you gain a number of pack points equal to your pledge. Otherwise, you do not gain any pack points this battle round, and your warlord model suffers die 3 mortal wounds. So important. Emperor's Children units from your army gain a bonus depending on how many pack points you have gained during the battle, as shown below, and these are all cumulative. That's important too. So, first off, you've got to think about what your warlord is, because your warlord, a multi-wound warlord like a Demon Prince, would probably be best here. Although, as long as you're careful, something more subtle that you can protect within a unit can also work. Something like Lucius. Oh, Lucius would be very good in this, because Lucius is really, really tough. He's very hard to kill. So, Lucius is very good here. Fulgrim can be very good, but the thing with Fulgrim is he's like 300 odd points of model. You don't really want him hanging back so you can protect him. You want him in the thick of it. He can be used because he's such a blender. You can use him to get those pact points early on, but you've got to be careful about that because he can be destroyed quite easily if you overcommit him, or if you're not careful about how you commit him. So it's an interesting one. In terms of the bonuses you get, if you get 1+ pack point, and by the way, these stack, and they stay until the end of the battle, so all units in your army gain these bonuses. For just destroying one enemy unit, Each time a model in this unit makes an attack, re-roll a hit roll of 1 for the entire army for every weapon they have. It's really good. And given how fast the Emperor's Children are and how many opportunities they have to scout and infiltrate, you can just commit certain units to just killing something weak at the very beginning and just get that off the bat. That's the way this plays, this detachment. It's aggressive. It's really aggressive. You want to get in there and kill things really quickly because that's what it's all about. There are certain armies this suffers against, so things like knights where you've got a low model count, a bit tricky. Things like Death Guard and Custodes, which are really, really tough. Killing units is a bit trickier. This one's a bit more difficult against them. But things like Tyranids, Gene Stealer cults, Eldari, certain Space Marine builds, it's very, very good. Who else? Demons, it would be very good against. 3+, bearing in mind these are cumulative, each time a model in this unit makes an attack, re-roll a wound roll of 1. So now you've got re-rolling hit rolls of 1 and wound rolls of 1. Suddenly, even like your infractors and the less threatening units are pretty goddamn nasty. 5+, melee weapons equipped by models in this unit have both the lethal hits and sustained hits 1 abilities, on top of re-rolling hit rolls of 1, on top of re-rolling wound rolls of 1. Pretty goddamn nasty. And not that difficult to get either. I mean, it depends on who you're facing and it depends on how the board is set up and how you deploy, but it's not that hard to do this with this army. That's bloody horrible, that is. 7+, each time a model in this unit makes an attack, a critical hit is scored on an unmodified hit roll of 5+. So once you've got all those bonuses going for you, your army's almost unbeatable. It's going to be really difficult for most armies to defend against that. This is definitely one of the more powerful detachments in the game. There are hoops to jump through, and there are things that are, you've got to think about, like selection of your warlord, where your warlord is, how you protect them, etc., etc. You can, if you're afraid of not being able to kill anything, just don't pledge 0. It says pledge a number, so you can just pledge 0. You don't have to pledge anything if you don't want to, and that's kind of cool. But you're going to want to be trying to make as many pledges as possible, ideally. So another thing you want to be thinking about is fast units that hit hard. So things like infractors that have got scout and have got a Lord Exultant with lethal hit that bestows it to them, that kind of thing. It's very interesting. It requires thought, but it is very, very interesting and potentially absolutely devastating. In terms of enhancements, Pledge of Eternal Servitude. Through Slaanesh's favour, this warrior has defied death more than once, and each time has been agonizingly resurrected to offer more souls to their patron. Emperor's Children model only. The first time the bearer is destroyed, take a leadership test for the bearer at the end of the phase. If that test is passed, set the bearer back upon the battlefield as close as possible to where it was destroyed and not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, with die 6 wounds remaining, up to its wounds characteristic. Again, it's a way of protecting your warlord in case they do happen to cark it, Good on Demon Princes, very good on Demon Princes. Yeah, I like that. You're probably going to take that, just as some extra insurance about having your warlord on the battlefield. Pledge of Dark Glory. This leader is surrounded by an aura of dark majesty, radiating the glorious and infectious arrogance displayed by the greatest of Slaanesh's chosen sons. Emperor's Children model only. While the bearer is leading a unit, improve the leadership and objective control characteristic of models in that unit by 1. Niche, but can be very interesting. You got that you're going to want on a Lord Exultant, really. If your Lord Exultant is in a unit of infractors or tormentors in particular, improving the objective control is really good, because it just means they're going to be able to outdo almost any other unit that's on an objective. It's good. It's very good. Pledge of Mortal Pain. This warrior gifts their foes with Flanesh's own exquisite caress, offering up their agonies to please the Dark Prince. We love it. Emperor's Children model only. At the start of your shooting phase, select one enemy unit within 12 inches and visible to the bearer. That unit must take a leadership test, subtracting 2 from the result if it is battle shocked. If failed, the enemy unit suffers 3 mortal wounds. Situational, but it can be really good. Bear in mind, there's a lot of ways of inflicting -1 leadership already through like noise marine shooting and that kind of thing. It can be very good if you're in like a block, if you're in like a big combat where there are lots of units involved. It can go off like a little grenade around you. It's not bad. It's interesting, that one. Situational but interesting. Pledge of Unholy Fortune. A demonic patron steers this warrior's fate. Every movement is a killing stroke or exquisitely timed parry. Emperor's Children model only. Once per turn, just after making a hit roll, a wound roll, or a saving throw for a model in the bearer's unit, if the bearer is not battle shocked, it can use this enhancement. If it does, treat the result as an unmodified roll of 6 instead. It's really good. That's an auto take. That's an auto take. It can mean the difference between dying and not. It can mean the difference between getting that essential hit or wound roll off or not. Yeah, it's really good. Anything that allows you to undo a bad roll effectively is pretty goddamn good. Yeah, I mean, most of those are useful in one way or another. I think the Pledge of Unholy Fortune and the Pledge of Eternal Servitude are the ones you're going to be wanting to go for. They're really very good. In terms of stratagems, Protection of the Dark Prince, that's 1 CP, and it's a strategic ploy stratagem. On occasion, the Dark Prince may grant a boon of protection to his favoured followers in the heat of battle. Such a boon incurs a debt, one that will be paid in the fullness of time. When any phase, just after a mortal wound or attack is allocated to a model in an Emperor's Children unit from your army. The target is that Emperor's Children unit. Effect: until the end of the phase, models in your unit have the Feel No Pain 6+ ability and the Feel No Pain 4+ against mortal wounds. It's good. It's really good. For 1 command point, that's really good. That can mean the difference between dying or not. It's, yeah. It's very, very good indeed. I mean, that's just great defense. It's just a great defensive stratagem, and it's cheap. You're going to be using that all the time. All the bloody time. It's very good. Unshakable Opponents, 1 command point. This is an epic deed stratagem. Inured to ordinary sensations by several lifetimes of indulgence, there is little that can deter or phase the warriors of the Emperor's Children. And don't we know it? This is in your command phase. Oh, it's just any command phase. It's just the command phase. Target 1 Emperor's Children unit from your army. The effect: until the end of the turn, each time a model in your unit makes an attack, you can ignore any or all modifiers to the following. That attack's ballistic skill or weapon skill characteristic, the hit roll, the wound roll. Again, for 1 command point, it's really good. It's really good because a lot of armies have rules or special rules or unit rules that give you -1 to hit or whatever. This balances it out. You're going to be using that almost every turn. That's a great utility stratagem, that one. Embrace the Pain. 1 command point. This is a strategic ploy stratagem. The Emperor's Children revel in every sensation, even ones that would slay lesser mortals outright. They're Cenobites. They're effectively Cenobites. They're also sado-masochists. They love a bit of good hurt, so they do. When start of the fight phase, any fight phase, yours or the opponent's, target 1 Emperor's Children infantry unit from your army. The effect: until the end of the phase, each time an enemy model within engagement range of your unit selects targets, it must select your unit as the target of its attack. Oh, until the end of the phase, each time an enemy model within that's really good. That's really good. That's a distraction. So if an enemy is in engagement range of like 2 of your unit, and you don't want them to target a particular unit that's more important, you can use this to force them to target another unit. That's excellent. That's potentially very powerful. I'm surprised that's only 1 command point. That's very good indeed. Again, it's a very good way of protecting your warlord. Martial perfection. This is a battle tactic stratagem. The Emperor's Children find stimulation in excess, be it brutally shocking acts of violence or gratuitous displays of martial prowess. One command point: when fight phase, any fight phase, target one Emperor's Children unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. Effect: until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes an attack, you can reroll the hit roll. It's a really good, cheap reroll. That's what it is. It's excellent. Yeah. And again, it's all about racking up those pack points. That's what that's about. Making sure you get those hits in. It's good. Very good. Unbound Arrogance. This is an epic deed stratagem. The hubris of the Emperor's Children is both their greatest strength and their biggest weakness. This is during your shooting phase or the fight phase, just after an Emperor's Children unit from your army destroys an enemy unit. The target is that Emperor's Children unit. The effect: increase your pledge to Slaanesh by 1. And you can only use this stratagem once per battle round. That's really good. So if that round, you've pledged to destroy, say, 2 enemy units, and you happen to destroy 3 because you didn't realize you were going to do it, you can use this, and suddenly your pledge is up by that number. Meaning you get you can get the next pact. You can get the next ability. It's very good. It's very, very good indeed. I like it. You're going to be using that. Imagine you're going to be using that at least once per round. It can be. I mean, that can make the difference. That can really make the difference. It's a very good stratagem indeed. Armor of Abhorrence. Love it. This is a war gear stratagem. The abhorrent contempt that the Emperor's Children possess, combined with their combat-stimmed physiologies, makes them unyielding foes to face. When this is your opponent's shooting phase or the fight phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets, the target is one Emperor's Children unit from your army that was selected as the target of one or more of the attacking unit's attacks. Oh, it's Armor of Contempt! So effect: until the end of the phase, each time an attack is allocated to a model in your unit, worsen the armor penetration characteristic of that attack by 1. It's very good. It's a protective, defensive stratagem, and it's meat and potatoes, It's got great utility. It's very good. It's just a very, very good stratagem. It's really strong. As the detachments for the Emperor's Children go, this is really strong. There's a lot of synergy in it. There's a lot of stuff that works with other things and in synergy with the army special rule and the rules of data sheets. It's really good. I can see this one coming up a lot in like tournament and competitive play, but it's also lots of fun. That's the other thing. It's lots of fun because you've got a little mini game within the game where you've got to think about racking up those pledge points. How much do I pledge this round? Am I going to be able to pull it off? Yeah, it's fun. I like it. I like it a lot. I don't know if it's it may actually be the strongest alongside the Carnival of Excess in the book. It's very good. Very good. Last, we have probably the most niche of the detachments, and one that people have. It's a shame, really. A lot of people have sort of discarded this one as the NAF detachment. I think it's got a lot going for it, and I've seen it played. And it can do the business. This one, it really can do the business. So, Slaanesh is chosen. Amongst the Emperor's Children are those who see themselves as particularly favoured by Slaanesh. That would be all of them. They all think they're the epitome of everything. They're narcissists, These puissant champions, I love that word, puissant, it means powerful, strong. These puissant champions of excess have inflicted deaths beyond count, suffered agonies beyond measure, and won glorious victories in honour of the Dark Prince. When such champions of ruin gather together, they are driven to outdo one another, whether engaging enemy commanders in brutal duels, inflicting exquisite agonies upon mewling mortals, or offering sacrifices to their unholy deity. The chosen of Slaanesh are unceasing in their murderous advance. To these paragons of arrogance and superiority, no foe is worthy of respect, and few are capable of providing the challenge they desire. Thus, their rivalries are with their own, each vying for Slaanesh's attention. Only those who prove themselves the deadliest will gain the approval they seek. So, the way this works, you have the detachment rule, internal rivalries. The boldest and most debased champions of Slaanesh may gain the benefit of the Dark Prince's boons, yet none hold Slaanesh's favour for long. for always another seeks to wrest his favor from their rivals. Emperor's Children character units from your army can ignore any or all modifiers to their move characteristic and any or all modifiers to advance and charge rolls made for them. So that's really good. That ties in very beautifully with the Thrill Seeker special rule. And also, bear in mind, Emperor's Children character units. So what this emphasizes is you want characters attached to each of your units. That's the way this works. You want to maximize the amount of characters that you take. So Demon Princes, Lords Exultant, Lords Cacophonous, that you want as many of them as you can take effectively. In addition, at the start of the battle, your Warlords unit is your army's favored champions. The first time in each player's turn that an Emperor's Children character unit from your army destroys an enemy unit, after resolving all of its attacks, that character unit becomes your armor's new favored champions, replacing the old one. So you have to keep track of who the favored is. Each time a model in your army's favored champions unit makes an attack, you can re-roll the wound roll. So that unit becomes very powerful indeed. And then you pass that on. It's one of those detachment rules where you need to think about army composition. And you need to think about the way you are organizing your charges, your attacks, and so on and so forth. But if you plan it well, you can sort of tailor your battle plans around it and make it very powerful indeed. It can be very good. It's more niche than some of the others, and it requires a few hoops to jump through, but it can be very good. I've seen a few battle reports using this one actually, and the one I think of in particular, the Emperor's Children really took apart an Ultramarines army, and they did very, very well. That ability to ignore modifiers to advance and charge, and also to normal move, is very good, especially for characters, especially for things like Demon Princes and whatnot. And the fact that it applies to their units as well. So if you've got a Lord Cacophonous and a Noise Marine unit, they ignore modifiers to their movement, as do Tormentors or Infractors. It's good. It can be very good indeed. Enhancements, eager to prove. They love this word in this detachment. This puissant champion of Slaanesh is ever eager to join the battle and prove their peerless skill to the Dark Prince. Emperor's Children model only. You can reroll charge rolls made for the Bearer's unit. While the Bearer's unit is your army's favored champion, add 2 inches to the move characteristic of models in that unit. Yeah, that can be very good. The +2 to move, if you are the favored, is excellent. And the reroll charges just plays into both the detachment rule and the Thrill Seekers rule as well. There's a lot of synergy going on there. Good, it's not bad at all. Repulsed by weakness. Those chosen by Slaanesh seek only worthy foes. The weak and craven are slaughtered with sneering contempt. Emperor's Children model only. Each time an enemy unit, excluding monsters and vehicles, within engagement range of the bearer's unit falls back, models in that enemy unit must take a desperate escape test. When doing so, if the bearer's unit is your army's favored champions, subtract 1 from each of those desperate escape tests. That's pretty good. So when an enemy unit falls back, if they have to take a desperate escape test, then they run the risk of taking mortal wounds, which is not bad. It's niche. I mean, you have to be in the thick of combat to get it to work, but it can destroy an enemy unit. It can mean the difference between an enemy unit surviving and not. It can be very good. And it will also make your opponent think twice. They may not try to fall back, in which instance they may get massacred or bogged down in combat. It's not bad. Proud and vainglorious. Even amongst the prideful warriors of the Emperor's Children, this warrior is a towering pillar of arrogance. Emperor's Children model only. You can reroll battle shock and leadership tests taken for the bearer's unit. While the bearer's unit is your army's favored champion, add 1 to the objective control characteristic of models in that unit. That can be good. I mean, it depends. It's situational, that one. But the ability to re-roll battle shock and leadership tests can be very, very good in certain circumstances. Probably the one you're going to be taking last of these, but it can be good. If you've got some points spare or whatever, not bad. Not bad at all. Depending on who you put it on. You're going to want that on like a Lord Exultant and an Infractors or Tormentor's squad that's taking objectives, or contesting objectives. Slayer of Champions. This warrior has obsessively perfected the arts of war for centuries, if not millennia. Few champions, regardless of origin, are beyond their ability to kill. Emperor's Children model only. The bearer's melee weapons have the precision ability, which is nice, and each time the bearer makes a melee attack that targets a character unit, improve the strength and armor penetration characteristics of that attack by 1. Very nice. I mean, good on Lords Exultant, very good on Demon Princes. I mean, like, very good on Demon Princes. You can make a Demon Prince a character assassin with this. You just have it, like, if it's a flying Demon Prince, have it just fly around killing characters. It can do that because it's got precision. And also, on top of that ability, flying demon princes have to inflict mortal wounds as they charge. It's bloody good, actually, now that I think about it. It's really good, actually. It's made for demon princes, that is. It's good on Lords Exultant, too, but it's very good on demon princes. I like it. Okay. In terms of stratagems, we have Devoted Duelists. 1 command point. This is a battle tactic stratagem. By slaying their foes in close combat, the champions of Slaanesh seek to elevate themselves in his favour. As they do, this is in any fight phase, and the target is 1 or more Emperor's Children character units from your army that have not been selected to fight this phase. The effect, select 1 enemy unit. Until the end of the phase, melee weapons equipped by models in this character unit have the sustained hits 1 ability while targeting that enemy unit. Yeah, I mean, it's very, very good. It's a utility. It gives you sustained hits 1, which is good. On top, if you've got like an Infracted squad with a Lord Exultant in it, then that will essentially give them lethal hits and sustained hits. It will make them very, very strong indeed. On top of, if it's your army's favoured, on top of the ability to re-roll the wound. So you see how it all ties together. It takes a little bit more use, this one, than say the Coterie or the Carnival, but when it all works together, it's got quite a lot going for it, this one. You've just got to think about how you use it. It's not as overtly wham bam as the others, this one, but it is interesting and it can be fun, I think. It looks like a lot of fun to use this one. Excuse me, I'm just having a drink. Anywho, Beautiful Death. This is a strategic ploy stratagem, and it's 1 command point. The more extravagant and luridly violent the kill, the greater the Dark Prince's appreciation. Report. This is the fight phase just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. The target is 1 Emperor's Children character unit from your army that was selected as the target of 1 or more of the attacking unit's attack. Effect, until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit is destroyed, if that model has not fought this phase, roll 1d6, adding 1 to the result of your unit's armies if the unit is your army's favoured champions. On a 4+, do not remove the destroyed model from play. It can fight after the attacking unit has finished making its attacks, and then is removed from play. So yeah, that's really good. It basically means that all of the models in that unit are going to have a chance to strike back. It can be very, very nasty indeed, especially on something like if you've got Lucius in a squad of Infractors, rather in a squad of Flawless Blades, that it can be very, very good in that regard. Yeah, I like it a lot. Heightened Jealousy. Rivalries are commonplace among the champions of the Emperor's Children, as all vie for Slaanesh's boons. As they do, it's a battle tactic stratagem for 1 command point. This is in your shooting phase or the fight phase, just after an Emperor's Children character unit becomes your army's favoured champions, or just after your army's favoured champions unit destroys an enemy unit. The target is your army's favoured champions unit. And the effect, until the end of the phase, each time a model in an Emperor's Children character unit from your army that is not your army's favoured champions makes an attack, add 1 to the strength character. That's really good. That applies to your entire army. It's after your Emperor's Children character unit becomes your army's favoured champion, or just after your army's favoured champion unit destroys an enemy unit. You can just give an army-wide buff strength to everything. That's really good. And it's only 1 command point. You're going to be using that a lot. Heck of a lot. It's really good. I mean, that's almost a no-brainer. That's all you are going to be keeping command points back to use that. And given that your infractors and tormentors can get you command points back, that's excellent. Yeah, it's really good. Again, loads of synergy, right? Diabolic Majesty. This is an epic deed stratagem. Those who gaze upon one of Slanesh's chosen are stricken by their diabolical majesty. One command point. When during your shooting phase or the fight phase, just after an Emperor's Children character unit becomes your army's favored champion, and the target is that Emperor's Children unit. The effect: each enemy unit within 6 inches of your unit must take a battle shock test, subtracting 1 from the result. You can only use this stratagem once per battle round. It's situational, but it can be used to great effect. It's like a mini Shadow in the Warp from the Tyranids, that is. You can use it if you're in the thick of things and there are a lot of enemies around that are on objectives, that are claiming objectives. This can be really, really useful for getting them off, basically. And again, in concert with things like Noise Marines that inflict -1 leadership when they shoot at things, can be very good. Can be very good. Situational, but cheap. So you're going to use it when you want to use it. It's nice to have in the tool set. Refusal to be outdone. This is one command point. It's a battle tactic stratagem. Rivals for the Dark Prince's favor will stop at nothing to outdo their foes and claim a greater tally of souls. This is during your charge phase. One Emperor's Children character unit from your army. The effect: select one enemy unit within engagement range of 1 or more units from your army. Until the end of the phase, each time your unit declares a charge, if that enemy unit is one of the targets of that charge, add 2 to the charge roll. So effectively, you're going to get into combat. If it's a really important charge, this just means that you're going to get in. It guarantees the charge almost. It's very good. Situational again, but it's a utility stratagem, and it can be very, very useful indeed. Vengeful Surge, strategic ploy stratagem. Consumed by their obsessive desire for revenge, the Emperor's Children surge into oncoming fusillades. When your opponent's shooting phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets, the target is one Emperor's Children character unit from your army that was selected as the target of 1 or more of the attacking units attacked. The effect: after the attacking unit has shot, your unit can make a surge move. To do so, roll 1 dice 6. Each model in your unit can move a distance in inches up to the result, but your unit must end that move as close as possible to the closest enemy unit. When doing so, those models can be moved within engagement range of the enemy unit. If your unit is not your army's favourite champions, you can re-roll the dice. Oh, that's interesting. To determine the distance of its surge move. I mean, these are always good, as World Eaters players will tell you, because Khorne Berserkers have this built in effectively. It can be very useful. It's just a free move, and free moves are always good, especially for something that desperately wants to be in charge range or that wants to get closer to the enemy. It's only 1 command point, so it's very good. You're going to be using that. You are definitely going to be using that. It's Slanesh's Chosen. I think people will disregard this one in favour of like Coterie of the Conceited or stuff that's more Carnival of Excess, stuff that's more overtly wham bam powerful. I think this has got a lot going on myself. I think that certainly, especially against certain armies, this is nasty. There's a lot of internal synergy in this between the stratagems, the enhancements, the detachment rule, and the Thrill Seekers army rule. And also with regards to the different data sheets and the special rules of units and whatnot. I think it can be very effective. It's kind of quiet, this one, in comparison to the others. But given canny player and a decent army list, I think you can make this one work. I really do. And I've seen it work a couple of times in very surprising ways. So yeah. And those are the detachments for Codex Emperor's Children. And I've got to say, I love them. I love them all. What I love about the detachments in this book, the fact that there are 6 of them, and they all emphasize a different style of play and army building for this otherwise very niche, very sort of particular army, demonstrates the range of invention and also just the different aspects of the Emperor's Children, the different like background aspects of them, and how various they can be. And this applies to all the cult legions, of course, because they have a similar thing going on. I love it. I love the fact that armies that have been traditionally so narrow in the way they play. In fact, previous to 10th edition, all of the cult legions, all armies kind of played the same way. They all played the same way. There was only one way to play each of them. Now that's not the case. You can tailor them to different detachments and play them in different ways and emphasize different elements of the way they play. It makes things never boring, which is really good for an Emperor's Children army, obviously. Yeah, it's very, very good. I'm very impressed. As with most things in this book, I am very impressed with it, and I cannot wait to actually put some of these into play. I'm really, really I mean, I've had chance since the last recording to play a couple of them. I've played the Mercurial Host, and I've played the Carnival of Excess, and they've both been very interesting. You've got to think about this. It is, as I keep harping on about, the Emperor's Children are a finesse army. They play in a really distinct and weird way. I've never seen anything quite like them on the battlefield of 40k, and I love that. I love the fact that even at this point, where there are so many armies and there are so many sub factions within those armies, they can still introduce things that are this novel and this new and this interesting. And it seems like this time round, if what I'm hearing about the World Eaters Codex and the Death Guard Codex or anything to go by, they've really used the cult legions as a template for that. They've really gone extreme with them. They want them to play in very particular ways that are very distinct from one another, despite ostensibly being chaos power armor armies. They're all so distinct from one another as to be different as different as one Xenos army from another, or Xenos armies from an Imperial army. And I love that. I love that. I think next time when we come back, my loves, we're going to have a look at the miniatures range. We're going to have a look at the miniatures range for the Emperor's Children, and that will probably be it for now. Very soon as well, when I get them in hand, which will hopefully be soon, because you know what? I managed to get the big, hyper, super special versions of the World Eaters and the Death Guard codices, the big, stupid, expensive ones. I also got the Emperor's Children one, so I'm dead pleased. I just need the Thousand Sons one now to make it complete. When I get them in hand, I'll be doing this for them as well, because I'm very excited. For me, this is the best Chaos has been for years, well, ever, because it's never been like this. We've never had it where the cult legions are so distinct and so various and so interesting to play in comparison to the mainstream Chaos Space Marines that also now, because of that contrast, have their own style of play and their own way of doing things. Love it. Love it, love it, love it so, so much. I'm very, very, very pleased with all of this. When next we come back, the Emperor's Children miniatures range, which, by the way, I've been going to town on. Absolutely mental with. I'm very into it at the moment. I'm very into the hobby right now because of this release. Just in case you can't tell. Until next time, my loves. Bye bye.